Yo, listen up, it's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. Hard way wrestling coming at you raw, bringing the heat, breaking every law. They drop the truth, no holds barred, talking smack, getting you hyped up hard, calling out the fakes, exposing the lies. Hard way wrestling taken by surprise. Hard way wrestling coming to your city. Nothing but realness, nothing but grit. Going down a gauntlet, making them mark. Hard way wrestling, straight from the heart.
Reviews online. Without a lot of these guys, I can't give you proper notes.
Yeah.
So yeah, last night they were back in Orlando, back at their training facility. I almost have half in mind if I can convince now. Wait, never mind. Anyway, so last night, obviously, we are gearing up towards Heat Wave. That'll be taking place August 24th.
24th, yep.
Let me just double check the date on that. It would be a Sunday.
Ooh, back on Sundays again.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because I have to go back to work that Monday with kids. But anyway, started off pretty typical. Obviously, all the wrestling shows did their homage to the Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania. Obviously, you guys have covered a lot of that on the other shows, Monday Night Review and all that stuff, so we don't really have to go too incredibly deep on it. So, the first match of the night was with Fatal Influence, Fatal Attraction, Fatal something,
Fatal Influence,
Fatally Bad.
Yeah, Fatally Bad. I love that.
The first match is Jaida Parker versus Jazmyn Nix.
Yep.
I mean, this one seemed pretty straightforward.
I mean, again, good match. It definitely was interesting to see one of the other members of Fatal Influence wrestle on their own.
Yeah, because I mean, since she's won a match, we have not seen the individuals actually wrestle.
Yes, exactly.
What I say about 2 months.
Yeah, something like that. It's been a while since they wrestled, so it was definitely cool seeing them wrestle and seeing what each individual member of Fatal Influence can do. We've already seen JC Jane and gosh, my brain just blanked on her name now. The member that wrestled last night of Fatal
Jazmyn Nix.
Jazmyn Nix, thank you. I don't know why my brain blanked on it.
This is also why we have notes, so that way I can keep our brains online, because sometimes no.
Yep, no, I get it. It's the darn heat wave coming through.
Yeah.
Seeing Nix wrestle was definitely an interesting little deal there. Again, not a bad match, nothing to write home about, but definitely cool to see that.
Yeah. I mean, the notes that are written here, we have Parker gets kicked down to start, but blocks a kick to the face, back up, and Parker sends her into the corner and shouts down at Fatal Influence from the ring, allowing Nix to get in a shot of her own. Something like a standing Lash Chancery has Parker in trouble, which doesn't last long. Parker hits a Samoan drop, followed by a quick hypnotic for the pin.
Yep.
So, the one downside. So Jazmyn Nix takes it, right?
Yeah.
So
Jaida
Parker takes it?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Jaida Parker takes it. Obviously, I don't know what they're doing with moving on to that. We have Javon Evans running into High Rise. Evans then runs into Chase U, telling the team to go after the big dogs. Evans is going to do the same. He comes out later on. And apparently Chase U is going after Hank and Tank.
Yeah, that was an interesting look. I was wondering what they were doing. They stood outside the locker room door with chairs, and it was okay. I'm going to say this about NXT. Overall, NXT can steer towards the funny sometimes. Not necessarily a big fan of it, and this was one of those things where they're like Chase U standing out there. They got chairs. They're trying to surprise Hank and Tank. They open the door halfway. The Tank and Tank know they're there, and they charge in, and it's just this big standoff and yelling match, and it was just ludicrous. Like I watched it kind of with half interest because I like Hank and Tank, but I was just like, this is just kind of dumb. So
I mean, could we be seeing a heat wave Could we be seeing Chase U versus Hang Tank for the titles?
I mean, yes, but it's going to be a squash match. I mean, I guarantee if
Well, I
they
mean,
can.
Chase U's been a squash match now for the last 2 or 3 months. They've been stepped on.
Yeah. So I
Um,
mean,
so yeah,
yeah. So
the
I would
next
just.
match after that, well, Chase U is going to get squashed no matter what. I mean, obviously, Hank and Tank are the face of the company with along with Obafemi.
Yep.
Um, so obviously, if you take it off from them, yeah. Um, but the next match, it seems to be a rematch for Charlie Dempsey and Tavion Heights. Heights is trying to get out of No Quarter Catch Crew.
Yep.
Obviously, he got screwed.
Yeah.
I
The
mean, we
first.
watched that match. That match was terrible. I
The
mean,
match.
well, the
The match
technical
was.
stuff was great. The way that it ended was crap.
Yeah. The match was good. The finish was terrible. But Tavion Heights did redeem himself this time around. So
So the No Quarter Catch Crew is almost gone.
that's pretty much gone. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
they all
because
the.
you can't have the female fight Charlie Dempsey.
Yeah. It is pretty
That'd be
much
awkward.
gone. So
Yeah.
yep.
Um. Apparently, in
Good
the middle
match.
of this match, we have a random Joe Hendry spot.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing. I think somebody queued something wrong in the truck. Because all of a sudden Joe Hendry's face pops up and it was like, what the heck? So yeah, I was like, I literally sat there watching and I was like, what did somebody just miscue the truck? Like how why is the Joe Hendry thing popping up? So
Yeah, why not? We all need Joe Hendry in our lives.
I mean
Uh,
I agree, but
but yeah, then we got continuing with this match back up, and they collide with stereo crossbodies. Um, After coming back from break, Heights suplexing his way out of trouble. They go outside where Dempsey starts going after the leg, setting up a half crab back inside. Heights rolls out and gets two off a small package, followed by Death Valley Driver for two more. The belly to belly gives Heights the win.
yep. So I again, good. These guys, I give them a lot of credit. I wish we had been watching earlier because I really would have liked to have seen what NQCC did together as a group. Because I love Dempsey, I love Tavion. Like they definitely have good chemistry with each other.
And
As
all three of them were very good technical wrestlers, as we see
very good, yeah,
in matches where they're trying to get away from No Quarter Catch Crew.
yeah. So it was like okay, and what was the deaf gentleman's name? My brain blanked on him.
Hold on. Meanwhile, that's
Eric
not his name.
Eric something, I think.
Hold on. Miles Bourne.
Miles, not Eric. Miles, yes. Miles Bourne definitely had, like you could see how they could all three have chemistry with each other. They could be good tag team partners because they're again, like Tavion had the build for the powerhouse guy, but definitely also had the technical wrestling. And Charlie and Miles definitely were the smaller speed and really really technical gentlemen. So you could see how all three of these guys could have good chemistry with each other. But
Oh yeah.
the fact that they broke up, pretty much started to break up as soon as we started watching, is interesting. So I'd like to actually go back through some of the old NXT and see what they did together. I think it might be interesting because again, they're great wrestlers. I cannot wait to see what all three of them do individually. I think Dempsey's headed for a good heel run.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, and this, the crazy thing is that the breakup of this faction shouldn't have taken as long as it did.
yeah, I agree.
This was dragged, but again, as we've talked about in previous shows, we would like to see more of these male wrestlers step up to fill in those spots, like such as Braun Breaker's spot. Um, you know,
Yeah, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and who was the other? There was another one that got called up. My brain can't think of it right now. But anyways, long story short, that these guys, these single, now that they're all singles, I think No Quarter Catch Crew can definitely the individual guys can come out and
yeah,
do some good stuff. I can see them, and I know this is not a name we're supposed to necessarily use, but I can see them some of them being the next Chris Benoit, or the next Bret Hart, in the ring and being very good technical wrestlers.
yes.
So
But obviously, there's some stuff in between all this. Santino Marella comes in to see Trick Williams and the
yep,
Hot Rise. Marella tells Williams to not get comfortable with the TNA World Title because it's coming home soon. Blake Monroe comes out for a chat, obviously calling out Booker for butchering her name last week on his open,
Yeah.
and saying that if he does it again, he'll end up in a medical facility. Um, so, but obviously, right now the big thing is trying to get her over as a heel, and right now they're doing a good job with that.
Very much so.
Um,
Again, she's definitely somebody that you love to hate.
yeah,
So
she's definitely got that vibe. But the next match of the night is, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Um, and then let's see, we have Tatum Paxley tells Izzy Dame that she wants to challenge Sol Ruka. Dame isn't sure, but the rest of the culling comes in to say Paxley is indeed getting the title shot. With the team gone, Luca Crucifino pops in to say no family lasts forever. So
yeah.
if they're hinting at something, I don't think they should break up the culling.
Yeah, no.
I think that'd be a terrible idea because I like the culling.
Calling is really good right now, and I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with them. But
And
we
then
will see.
we go into Last Legend is ready to beat up Fallon Henley and go after the title. Now this is the
Yep.
second person of fatal influence in this match, Fallon Henley.
Yep.
Um, this match again, obviously, um, both these matches that they had for this title thing were only 4.5 minutes long.
Yeah. I mean, and in some respects, again, with all due respect to the women's division, I'm glad because here's the thing: they focus so much time on the women's division that they need to spend time on some other stuff.
Yeah,
And as we see later on with the Javon Evans match, and then the um, uh, Santino and Ethan Page match, they spent some time with both of those matches,
yeah.
and I'm glad. Again, I want the women to have a good run and a
Well, we're
good.
also coming off of Evolution, so they just got a whole spotlight.
Yep.
Not, of course,
So,
not every woman on the roster did participate in Evolution for that because obviously we had to get the main roster in. But
yep.
um, this match seemed pretty straightforward.
Yep. And then, yeah, I mean, we also had coming into it, not coming into it, but like as the match wound up, we had Nia Jax showing up, which was
Yeah.
definitely a really interesting twist because that's gonna, and I feel very bad for anybody that has to work with the refrigerator, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Lash Legend
I agree.
because
Do
they
you think they
are.
see it? I honestly, I don't know if this is going to be like a team up thing or this is going to be a
Oh
big
no,
feud between the two. Obviously, like reading the notes, I mean, like Scott had mentioned, it's you know, while Last Legend goes outside the ring to start beating up on the rest of the team for the fatal influence, but gets dropped by Nia Jax by out of everyone on the main roster.
yeah,
Obviously, there's nothing more for her to do on the main roster because her and Tiffany Stratton have no beef, or at least
yeah.
really scheduled any beef. But this time we do see her here, which I find interesting, and I'm curious to see what they do with Nia.
I mean, I think
Not
it's
like I'm overly
again.
excited to see what she's gonna do because I think NXT's fine without her, but
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think they really needed her, but at the same time, if they're going to bring somebody down to work with Lash Legend, like I said, I think
because
that if
Lash
there's,
is also kind of sluggish.
yeah, she's kind of a botch queen in NXT. So I, put her like the two botch queens can go at it and see how that fares.
But yeah, Lash Legend does lose this match when Henley hits her Fame Assessor for the pin.
Yep,
Um,
Fameasser.
Fame Asser, I don't know. MSR, I don't flip it. No, that's a weird ender. Um,
You can thank Billy Gunn for that because that was his finisher years ago.
and then post match, Jax gives Legend the Annihilator. And then we see Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura have to be held apart. Stacks come in and doesn't think much of Inamura, who is ready to face him next week. So that's backstage banter.
Yep.
Hey, obviously they're looking at doing something with Stacks and Inamura at some point. Um, so, but the next match on the docket is Wes Lee versus Javon Evans.
This was a barn burner. Like I give these two guys a hell of a lot of credit. I like Wes Lee, and I definitely am a big Javon Evans
Oh
supporter. I
my
think
God,
this kid,
Javon in his first month has like his first month and a half have been insane.
yeah. And they did a lot in this match. There was a lot of interesting like it wasn't like the most perfect match, but there was interesting interference spots. And Javon Evans was flying all over the place. There was one point where he took off and did just the most perfect swan dive out into the ramp area. Like he leapt like over the top rope, over the main walkway around the ring, and landed in the entrance walkway. That's how far he freaking flew. And I was like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah,
Um,
this match was unbelievable.
Very, very good match. There was a couple
Um,
other amazing moves.
yeah, I mean, so I can go through this really quick. We come back with Lee holding a front chancery that's broken up, and Evans kicks him in the head, followed by a German suplex, some kicks to the face, including the springboard variety. Give Evans two, but Lee knocks him back as well. A brainbuster gives Lee two, but Evans ties him up in the tree of woe.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, that's the other one. Yep.
Evans flips into a coast to coast for two, only for the high rise to offer a distraction. One heck of
Yep.
no hands dive takes them out, but Lee hits the cardiac kick for two. As Evans' foot is in the ropes, Evan is back up with a jumping cutter, followed by the top rope cutter for the pin.
The top rope cutter was insane too. The coast to coast, the swan dive out on the floor, and the top rope cutter were like, oh my gosh, moves. Like I was just like, I've never seen Javon Evans hit that top rope cutter like that. Honestly, in my view, rivals Sol Ruka's Soul Snatcher, because that was like holy crap. You very rarely see guys do the cutters from the top rope,
Yeah.
guys or girls. So it definitely rivals the Soul Snatcher. So
Yeah, I
again,
mean,
very very good match.
unbelievable match. I mean, again, Javon is proving that he belongs in
Yes,
NXT. Uh,
yes.
and I think at some point later on down the road, I could see him being on the main roster.
Oh yeah, most
Again,
definitely.
that's further down the road, but right now his development's insane. But Javon Evans does get the win over Wes Lee with that top rope cutter. That match lasted 13 minutes.
Yep.
Um, Post match, Evans and Williams have a stare down, but Obafemi pops up on the platform for the three-way stare down. Um, they got a sit down interview with Miles Bourne. Talks about his health issues as a baby, which led to him losing 90% of his hearing. Um, you know, Communication isn't easy for him, but he knows how to read lips and use nonverbal cues. Now he's blocking out people like Lexis King.
Yeah. This is an interesting feud. I give him a lot. Like Lexis King, the former uh God, my brain is blanking on his name now.
From AEW.
Yeah, no, but what's his family name? Oh my God, I should know this. Um, his dad, famous guy, had a feud with Stone Cold WWE. My brain, why is my brain blanking on it? He was part of the Hart Foundation. Oh my gosh,
Brian Pillman, you bum.
Pillman. Oh my God, I'm an idiot tonight. Pillman.
Yeah,
Yes,
Brian Pillman, part of the what is it, the Hollywood Blondes or whatever it's called?
Yep, the Hollywood Blondes. Yep, that's Brian Pillman's son. I give him credit. He is making an interesting name for himself as Lexus King. Like I was not sure of this when he first came in, but I actually like the gimmick now. And again, he's a very good heel. So I'm interested to see where
And
this
they're
goes
set
with
to
him.
have a match next week.
Yep.
It cuts to Ava's assistant giving her updates on Ricky Saints and Jordynne Grace's health issues, especially after Jordan Grace gets a massive chair to the head from Monroe. Uh,
Yep.
Nia Jax interrupts Fiddle Influence's interview and says that's what Lash Legend gets when she messes with the most dominant force in WWE. Legend, just as you know, this site says, just does not match up with Nia Jax.
Yeah.
It could be an interesting match going forward. I mean, obviously the feud could be good, but again, that'll be. I could see it happening at Heat Wave. It just depends on what happens with the writing over the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Most definitely.
But obviously the main event of the night lasts about 7 minutes, but honestly, to see how well he could do, Santino Marella for the North American title versus Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Page is defending the title. Um, it felt good to see Santino back in the ring.
Yes, and again, he like the chance of you still got it or well deserved because I was watching Santino do things that I was like, really? Like you can still do like, and like again, he's not, he's not known for his high flying or anything like that. But there was one point he did not springboard, but a catapult, just grabbed onto the ropes and threw himself over the top rope, landing on Ethan Page. I'm like, what? Like I've
This
never
isn't
seen you do that
Santino.
before.
That's not Santino.
That's not Santino to me, but no,
Um,
again, good match.
yeah, this match overall was really good. Page fights as we get another random Joe Hendry blip.
Yeah,
I don't think these were a mistake.
yeah, I think there's something going on.
They're trying, obviously, the feud right now between the TNA brand and the NXT brand. It's pretty solid.
Well, here's the question too. When is Joe Hendry? We have to find out for our next show when Joe Hendry's contract is coming up. Because if it's coming up soon, that might mean those blips might mean that they're about to bring him into NXT, and if that's the case, holy
His
cow!
contract with TNA expires December 2025.
Okay, so then we still got some more time, but that's now that I just thought about it, I was like, man, maybe they're trying to
It
do
could be
something to start.
angling something here.
Yep, they're definitely angling something. What is it? Is the question, and
But
we will
yeah,
find out.
another roll up gives Marella two, and Page bails to the floor where he takes Marella down. Big boot drops Marella again, and a neck breaker gives Page two. Then there's the chin lock. Doesn't last long as Marella lifts him up into an airplane spin.
Yep.
The twisted grin is countered into a stunner, and the saluting elbows gives Marella two. Page's kick to the head gets two more, but a top rope splash hits raised knees. Marella sends him outside for a slingshot dive, but Page uses the referee to avoid the Cobra. That lets Page grab the twisted grin to retain. That match lasts a total of 7 minutes.
Didn't seem like it. It seemed like it was a lot longer. They pulled out a lot in 7 minutes, and I was very impressed by
Oh
it.
yeah, I mean, and that's all of the matches for last night's NXT.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, Tony D'Angelo is dining alone at his
Hmm.
restaurant, where he tells a server to call him Tony rather than Don.
Yeah.
But someone we can't see is behind him to the end of the show. So it seems that NXT might be angling towards something with Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah. I'm interested. I watched that because I was like, they had already had the blips of the graphics of show's over, and then that D'Angelo thing popped up. And I was like, oh, what the heck is this? And like the horror movie thing of somebody coming up from behind you deal. I was like, ooh, what do they got going on? This is interesting. Let's see what they got going on next week. So I'm very curious.
So, we'll go over the grades for each match. So we have Jada Parker defeating Jazmyn Nix,
Yeah, I'd say probably a very low C minus
C
to a D.
minus.
To a D. I mean, again,
Uh,
nothing.
yeah, nothing too crazy to write about. Obviously, we have to somehow give Fatal influence there, turning
Once.
the light. Uh,
Yep.
so the next match was Tavion Heights beating Charlie Dempsey. I say this was a high grade B.
Yeah, I'd say I'd say B minus, but yeah, definitely. Again, it was a very good wrestling match. We've seen it before, but high like C plus for me in a lot of ways. Still good.
Then we have Fallon Henley beating Lash Legend.
D again. I wasn't a fan of the fridge coming in again. Like I said,
And we're still struggling with Lash Legend because every time we watch
yeah,
it is like watching an iceberg move.
yep,
And
very
I
much
know
so.
it takes a lot of time, and I cannot do what these people do, but literally watching her move puts me to sleep.
Yeah, it's just something about her I just
I
can't
can't help it.
figure out.
Most of these women's matches that we've watched over the last couple months have been great. This one was
Yeah,
a snooze fest.
yep, yep. I agree.
And then it goes on Javon Evans versus Wes Lee. Javon getting the win with the top rope cutter. I give it
B
a B plus.
plus. Yeah.
100% a B plus.
B plus. A great match. Again, like they pulled out all the stops in that
I
match.
mean, right
So
now with everything, we are sitting at a C minus. Obviously,
yep.
with the first three matches, we're closer to a D.
Yeah.
But now we're back up to C minus. Ethan Page beating Santino Marella with a twisted grin.
B plus. Again, a 7-minute match felt like a lot longer. Felt like they did a lot of good stuff in that match. You like even though we know Santino's not going to be a permanent wrestler again, it left you wanting to see more Santino. And when have you ever said that about Santino Marella? So and of course Ethan Page is just amazing no matter what he
Yeah, he's
does.
been phenomenal since coming back to NXT.
Yeah.
Um, so as of right now, the show's sitting at a C average.
The average, yeah. Again, it's about where they've been. I mean, they
Yeah,
definitely they're still struggling in the storylines, and I'm kind of starting to wonder, especially after the ending of the Javon Evans Wes Lee match where Trick Williams comes in, and then it's Trick staring off against Obafemi in the balcony. I'm kind of wondering what they might be trying if they're going to do a whole title for like we've already seen title for title. So maybe there might be another title for title deal. Trick Williams versus Obafemi, maybe.
maybe.
So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see where that goes because that Obafemi spot kind of came out of nowhere, where he's kind of staring down Trick Williams in the ring at the end of the night. So or not the
Yeah.
end of the night, but the end of that
Um,
match.
so yeah, I mean, again, overall, the show again where we've been the last couple weeks with them, or like almost an entire month, has been about a C rated.
Yep, pretty much.
Obviously, we'll see what happens when it all happens with going into heat wave.
Yeah.
Which, if it's cold by then, we might as well call it the iceberg because this week has sucked for the heat. Um,
Or just call it the refrigerator
yeah,
in
seriously.
honor of Nia Jax. So
Um, so obviously, there's not much out right now for next week. Uh,
there's a few matches
there
listed
are
already.
multiple title matches next week. Um, so we have um, let's see. So we have Chase U really wants a shot at the tag team titles. So we'll see Hank and Tank defend their titles. Tatum Paxley is going after Sol Ruka for the NXT Women's North American title.
Yep, there we go.
Kalani Jordan will step up to face Blake Monroe next week. Miles Bourne will get his chance to settle things with Lexis King, which I hope they take into Heatwave.
Yep, I agree.
I would like to see them go. I want to see this feud last a little bit.
Oh
Even
yeah,
though there's no title shot on the line, this would be a great feud no matter what.
yeah, I agree.
Um, so yeah, I mean that's what we have so far.
Yep, and there'll probably be a couple more matches booked in between now and then to kind of fill up the
Yeah.
show. So we will see. But
But yeah, I mean,
yep,
there's a lot going on. Obviously, this weekend upcoming, SummerSlam,
yes, sir.
the two-night saga that is SummerSlam, the first time ever at MetLife, hosted by um, but anyway, but yeah, lots to look forward to this weekend. Lots of wrestling, obviously. For I think it's just SummerSlam.
Just SummerSlam this weekend. Yep. So
Um,
nothing else.
so we'll see what happens with any NXT stars that might make an appearance there. If maybe, who knows? Uh,
I'm kind of hoping. I was thinking that the other day as the guys and I were talking on the main show about
it's two nights. There's
SummerSlam.
no way they're not going to get someone involved from NXT.
Yeah, there at least one match in the 2 nights that might be an NXT deal. Again, to kind of get people, like talking. Hey, NXT. I'm pretty sure it'll be night one if there's anything.
Yeah,
There'll
I mean,
be
if they
something.
book, let's say if Nia Jax has a match, maybe Lash Legend appears.
Yeah,
So you screw
something.
her out of a win or something, just to kind of get that feud going a little bit more.
Yep, I agree. So
But yeah, other than that, a couple things. Remember to always like and subscribe our content. Um,
yes.
we are here to have fun. That is why we do what we do. Uh, and with everything going on the last couple weeks, with Hulk Hogan's passing, um, and then getting ready for Heat Wave for our NXT shows.
Yep.
So like, subscribe. We're on Apple Podcast, Spotify for podcasts, not Google.
Not good because I screwed it up. Gotta love it.
No Google. Um, and again, you can join our Patreon for $5 a month. You can join our title shot. Obviously, Scott lost his title.
Yep. Suze is our new champion this time around. And Hardway in the Bank coming up for SummerSlam this time around. You have to basically have the top points for I think it was both nights, if I remember correctly. Top points for both nights, excuse me. Top points for one night, but you also have to have the tiebreakers.
Okay.
Get the tiebreakers right, and you will become Hardway in the Bank, which gives you a guaranteed chance to cash in on whoever is the champion. And that'll be running. I believe it's going to be every 3-month deal where you only have 3 months to cash in on it. So yeah, so that's a great little deal. I've been cashed in on before back when Chucky was still playing with us, and I'm still pissed about that one. That was not fun. Lost the title that night. Ricky cashed in on Jason once. Our last Money in the Bank did not get a chance to cash hers in, and
The contract
lost out
expired.
on. So
But yeah, obviously there are ways you guys can be involved with us. We're on Facebook, obviously YouTube, and we also stream, I believe, on Twitch. So there's so many ways you guys can be involved with us. So please do your
yeah,
thing. We'll do ours.
yep,
Other than that, that does it for the NXT Shakedown. Obviously, um, we'll have to figure out next week's taping because I'm out of town this weekend.
yep. Well, I'll discuss that with you off air because I'll let you know what my plan is. So
Going to Florida
yeah,
and
no,
Vegas.
that's a rapper. Peace.